In all my years of vintage TV collecting, I have never seen a colour TV have this issue. So let me just see if I can get this button to stay pressed in. Goddamn, the switch is not staying pressed in. It should stay pressed in. Are you going to press in switch on my TV tester? No? Alright, come on, stay in. So, okay, so this television I have just got in from the trash and it's showing a really strange issue. So, let me just see if I can mess with the camera a bit. Alright, so we got the thing tuned in to the proper frequency and the colour is dropping out on this vintage TV. So the colour comes in for like a split second and then it goes to monochrome. I'm assuming we have a faulty colour circuit, if I had to wildly guess. Because it goes colour for a split second and then it goes to monochrome. On the red test pattern, we can see that it does have a working colour circuit, but it likes to go colour for a split second and then it goes to black and white. So that's probably why they tossed this TV out, but I'm going to fix it because fixing this stuff is more important than trashing it. Anyway, catch you later, boys. Hello there everybody out in TikTok land or wherever I post this. Today we're going to be replacing the power cable on this 1970s monochrome high television. So I do apologise if I haven't got much room on my workbench. It's a big ass fucking bench. But anyhow, let me just move that shitty light on that thing. Alright, here we go. So we're going to open the TV. So we're going to see where the original power cable has been cut. And then we're going to replace it. Ooh, a bit feisty, are you? It's a bit of a feisty TV, aren't you? Okay, so a big word of warning to all you guys who think, oh, I can do this. These things have voltages in them that will kill you. So I want you to be safe and work on these things with caution. I've got the soldering iron warmed up. I've got a power cable ready to go, but I've got to cut it so I can get the wiring back. So on these vintage TVs, there are several screws that hold these sets shut. So there's 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom. And that's how simple it is to actually literally open up these things. So, okay, we're going to grab that out. Okay, that screw has not been untightened since it was at the factory. But you can see there is barely anything on this cable left. Right. Okay, we're going to put this back panel to its side, I believe, or at the top. I'm not sure. So this workbench is not giving enough room. Anyhow, we have the TV open. Come on, go somewhere, you piece of crap. Thank you. Okay, so now that we have the television open, I can unscrew the power cable and actually see where it's supposed to go. So I can see. Silka, move! What are you doing? Okay, so let me just check here. Right, so we've got. Oh yeah, that thing is definitely buried in there. I think I'm going to have to do this the janky way, which is to solder a cable onto the existing cable. I do have heat shrink tubing, so I'm going to make part 2 to this. Alright, so we have some heat shrink tubing here. Now I've got to find the cable and I've got to cut. So here's what I'm going to do. So see this IEC? I'm going to cut the connector off, strip both ends, and basically solder on every wire exactly the same as it should have come from the factory. And once the power cable is completed, once the power cable is actually, properly completed here, it'll be able to be used properly again. So let me just grab the delicate wire stripping using my teeth. Now the trick with wire stripping, if you have no scissors or anything of use that can be used as a wire stripper, you can use your teeth, but be very careful, because if you do it too rough, it'll damage your enamel. What I like to do is I usually like to basically take my chances and strip it just enough . Okay, now that I have it stripped, almost, got to continue biting pieces off, so that I have enough wire to go in. So this is going to be a delicate operation here. I do apologise if this is slower than fucking rapid, but this is how things are in reality, or in this hellhole I like to call Earth. So this television was made in the 1970s. It was made before colour TV came out. In Australia, we got colour TV in 1975. A whole 25 years after America got it. America got it in 1950. But we got it in 1975. Okay, I think I've got enough to solder on. So blue is live, brown is neutral, and the earthy, cute green is, Earth. Good. So this is our wiring that we're going to solder on. So, prepare it. I am going to give myself a little bit of redundancy as far as the makeup I need. So with these TVs as well, you have to basically be very, very careful when it comes to putting your live and neutral in the wrong place, otherwise you'll blow something up. Believe me, I learned this the hard way. So I'm going to be doing some of this soldering and figuring out shit off camera, so that way you don't see any of the fuck-ups that a lot of us TV guys go through. So, okay, we've got our cable sort of semi-presentable right there. So with these vintage black and white televisions, when you get them running, you have to basically do a series of checks to make sure everything is functioning and properly functioning. So once this set is put a new power cable on, I'm going to hook it up to a TV test unit and basically make sure that everything's going to go smoothly. Red. Okay, that should be why I didn't get all the cords. So yeah, red is active in the load cords. Alright, I've got a little bit more of a redundancy now, so I can show off a little bit more of the wire. I have a lot more solder to it if I need. Plus it'll help with the heat shrink tubing as well. Okay, now I've just got to twist the wire so that it's at its strongest. So here's what I've got so far, just a twisted cable wire. Now I'm going to do the other side of the stripping off camera here, so we'll tune back in. Okay, so now we're starting the first of the soldering. Do not do this at home, kids. This is basically amateurish, bodgy work. It'll do just enough to get this vintage telly back on the road. Now, after every solder joint, I'm going to cover the joint in heat shrink tubing. So, I better hope that I get this right, because there's no do-overs on a vintage TV. If you fuck it, you fuck it. So, okay. Let me just see here. Now I've got to do the neutral.
I'm getting mighty tired of your trifling ways and of listening to that jackass Bray.
So there's the neutral, and then I'm going to do the ground. So to make sure that these joints are going to make great contact. Make sure that neutral wire is good.
Some of the old for all time's sake.
So I do apologise if parts of this video are shot in 4K or HD. I'm just working with what I have. Now where the fuck's my lighter? Okay, so I've got some gassed up cigarette lighter. Here it is. Alright, so now I've got to cut up some heat shrink tubing to go over the wiring, just so that we won't have to deal with it too much. That's too small. Okay, that works. So my little medical scissors is going to have to cut this. I'm trying everything I can to make this my best fucking wiring job. So okay, so I'm gonna light that. So we're gonna use a regular cigarette lighter to basically shrink wrap that. Alright, that's one. And this will be two. So that's two. And then we're going to shrink wrap the ground like this. Cut that off with the medical scissors. And then now, this is the last of the 3 wires I need to light. Alright, so now that we have the shrink wrap that goes on that, let's shrink to this cable. So that should be fine. Not the best heat shrink job, but it should do. And then I've got to find another piece of that 600 volt big boy so I can shrink wrap it over the new wire. Let's just pray I can actually get it to fit all 3 wires in there. Come on, buddy, get in there. This is very amateur work that you're witnessing here. So don't try this at home, kids. Do not try this at home. I do apologise how amateur my work looks, but that's what you have to do when it comes to vintage televisions here in this country. You have to basically do all the work yourself. DIY or die is what my motto is on these guys. So now that our power cable has been replaced, we can seal it up. We can seal up the TV. Just have to make sure that my wiring is not going to explode in a way. Alright, there we go. Now we can seal the television up. I do apologise for how amateur my work looks, but that's just how I roll. I tend to do things either on a budget. Or I do them so that they won't bite me in the ass later. Anyway, let's see if I can get the back panel of this vintage TV on. So I'll move my camera up so you can actually see what I'm actually doing. So, alright, let's put her at 0.5 so you can actually see what I'm actually trying to do. So essentially what I'm doing right now is basically buttoning up this TV now. So we've got to button up the set. I've got to find all the screws and button her up essentially. So we have just replaced a power cable on a 1970s Philips or Pi. I think this is a Pi variant of a black and white TV set. So there are already 2 screws that are in the set. I just got to find the others. And then we're going to turn the TV around. So we're going to turn this vintage TV around once we get every screw in. So, okay. I've got to put 2 screws underneath. I do apologise for how amateur my work is on this one. But I have got little soldering experience because I fixed a lot of guitars and other low level stuff. But something like this is in my depth because I know how to work on vintage TVs. But I do things in a very amateur, sort of boy band level kind of way. So, here we go. We're going to put the TV up. Okay, now we're in the testing phase. So, this television, so I'm going to press the power switch in. Plug the TV in. So I'm going to plug this TV in. This is very, very raw, so... Alright, no smoke, so that's a good standby test. And then we're going to turn the thing on. Alright, she seems to work. I got another knob from another vintage TV on it, but I'll bring you down so you can actually see the TV. So this is a 1970s Pi television with a ghetto HMV knob on it. But the good news is that it seems to work and it doesn't really have any issues. It's just got a dim-ish kind of CRT. So let me just adjust some stuff on the back. Have we got... No, we don't have a sub-brightness pot. Okay. Okay, we have no sub-brightness pot. But the good news is we do have a functioning handle. Now I'm going to pull the knobs off, or the little potentiometer caps, and I'm going to spray them with contact cleaner while the set is live. That way I can actually make sure that every single piece of the contact Alright, so now we're going to run these pots a few times. And that's how you fix a 1970s TV that has a broken power cable. There we go. So, I've been Nathan Brown. Have a good one.